Halo, tes. Bisa-bisanya loh. Gak ku nyalain mikrofonnya. Anyway, welcome semuanya kembali lagi bersama dengan Hana di sini. Welcome. Gimana kabar kalian hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus nih. Welcome kembali lagi bersama dengan Haname yang suka nge-stream game. Bersama dengan Bebe yang nguek-nguek ini kita akan melanjutkan Reverse 1999. Welcome Ahmad, welcome Nawar. Gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus nih. Hari ini kita akan melanjutkan setelah apa namanya? Pengkhianatan yang dilakukan Igor ya. Tak disangka atau disangka, kalian menyangka atau tidak menyangka yang apa namanya, yang ngikutin reverse ini awalnya menyangka atau tidak kawan? Aku sih tidak menyangka-nyangka ya. Ternyata ya. Anyway, kita lanjut setelah apa namanya pengkhianatan Igor dan Lopera yang terguncang. It's the final days of Mars, and the daylight hours in Uswala are shrinking away. Uswala di mana dah? Geografinya diuji anjir. Past the busy season, the city is faded and quiet. At this moment, in a cafe at the end of the world, conversation and laughter are sealed with an earth-tight glass dome.
Hace algunos años, trabajé como guardabosques.
Oh, Recoleta, hi.
En Cuernavaca. Ahí conocí a un poeta surrealista mexicano. Estaba especialmente agradecido de que estuviera ahí. Unos animales habían entrado al campamento y los ahuyenté por él. No fue gran cosa, en realidad. Como muestra de agradecimiento, me explicó esta extraña historia. Una que ocurrió en un pueblo del desierto de Sonora, llamado Amalfitano, en 1975. La gente ahí seguía una creencia muy poco ortodoxa, que giraba en torno al dado de Babilonia. Un día, una investigadora con una maleta llegó al pueblo. Vino a estudiar sus costumbres locales, una razón nada sorprendente para que una intelectual erudita apareciera en un remoto asentamiento del desierto. But little did she know, this dusty old town and its peculiar custom would lead her down an entirely unexpected path.
Hold on, sorry to interrupt, Recoleta. Does this researcher have a name? She could be Nora, Joanna, or Teresa. Any name, really. I feel like you want people focusing on this story, not keeping track of who's who.
Confusion and shock and intertwined on the storyteller's
Thank you
face.
for your advice. But she isn't a Nora, or a Joanna, or a Teresa. She's just herself. A paracausality researcher.
You see that look? She's halfway to eating you alive. Face it, Maria. She wouldn't be the loca we know if she listened to anyone.
Ah, all right. So you didn't like the opening. Fine. I'll come up with something new. Maybe I'll start with a bit of exposition on the Die of Babylon, beginning with its origins as a secret relic created by an Aztec priest, imprisoned by the conquistadores.
The mysterious die origin never get a continuation as her story is interrupted a second
I
time.
don't know if that's going to do much, hermana. I'm beginning to think we'll never figure out what you're trying to say with this novel. And, well... and this isn't your fault.
Ay, Dios. Just tell her, Maria. We're going back to Buenos Aires.
Apa
¿De
nda-
vuelta a
Hah?
Buenos Aires? ¿De repente? ¿Así? ¿Sin más? Pancho, Maria, what's going on? Did I do something wrong during our travels?
The startled storyteller asked her companions of the last 2 months, searching for a reason.
Ah, see. I know what it is. I've bored you with my constant rambling over this novel.
No, Recoleta. It's got nothing to do with your novel.
Don't you get it? We're flat broke.
Ternyata
Why do you think we're
Recoleta.
stuck here scrubbing tables?
The man slammed his damn watch close on the table to emphasize his point. His voice broke the illusion of silence in the cafe.
Because we can't pay for all the mate we've been drinking.
That wasn't a question, Regoleta. We've crossed the continent, crashed the readings of all those prestigious poets, and lived the way a real artist should. And, I admit it, it's been just as amazing as you promised. But we can't go on living like this.
You know that we both care about you, and we believe in your novel too. I'd be lying if I said this journey meant nothing to me. Getting to ride around the continent on a motorcycle like Che Guevara himself? I never could have imagined I'd get the chance to go on an adventure like this. We got to live the dream.
A real dream. Except for those days when the motorcycle broke
Oh,
down.
pasti
Well,
pusing
that was
na,
a real
dengan
tribute
chapter
to
ini.
Che's journey too.
Masih awalan sih, kenapa tuh?
Don't tease,
Kang Alan,
Pancho.
gimana kabarmu hari ini? Sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus welcome.
Since you invited us to join the Visceral Realists, we've both found amazing new ways to channel our inner poetry. Even though I still don't understand what in the world you're trying to say with your novel, or for that matter, what visceral realism actually is.
Maria, Pancho.
You told us not to worry about the definitions, to feel and to live in our words. We did just as you said, and it felt great. But
He looked out at Usuya, feeling a chill. Snowfall from the dying sky. The season is shifting soon. Gray and white will blanket the colorful house of this
ahora
desolate
el
land.
frío del invierno se instala. Y lo único que parece importante es ese pequeño pueblo ficticio.
The storyteller sing back against her conclusion, searching for words.
I appreciate your honesty, amigos. I was worried the problem was much worse than all that. Winter here isn't as dreadful as you think, and I know just the place to keep us warm.
Ini semuanya si Recoleta juga apa namanya
It was
miskin nih.
1520. Arcanist Ferdinand Magellan sailed across unfamiliar waters under orders from the Spanish crown. Over the vast gray sea, he saw spots of light in the distance. An island. He named it Tierra del Fuego. For the next 400
Ini
years,
apa bahasa apa sih
Ushuaia
Recoleta
faithfully
ini?
served its role at the end of the world. It became the continent's penal colony, and its largest building even served as a prison. Many arcanists were exiled there. By the turn of the century, the arcanist hunt had reached its peak, and the Comala Sanatorium was built. Well, as you may already know, at that time, most arcanists were believed to be victims of madness. The sanatorium was their ship of fools. However, as people began to realize that arcanist blood wasn't a guarantee of madness, fewer and fewer were imprisoned there. By 1947, it was officially closed. Until the 1970s, when a group of people from the National Foucault Studies Association returned to the island with new ideas for the location. They spoke in abstract terms and opaque theories that no one could understand. They rebuilt this place and gave it a new name. After a long period of construction, the Comala Sanatorium became a prison once more, one designed to hold arcanist criminals. They were taken from the streets and the psychiatric clinics, from secret societies and rebel groups. Any arcanist deemed mentally or socially unfit would be locked away there. This association claimed the inmates would receive the best treatment, and they would fully recover before being returned to society. A prison,
Recover.
a medical lab, a sanatorium. Call it whatever you want. That is what Gomala is
Apa
today.
namanya melakukan lobotomi kah? Lobotomi Corporation?
And we could spend the whole winter there. It'd probably be the easiest winter we've ever had. All that it requires is a little bit of acting. It won't be hard to pass ourselves off as a bunch of unstable crackpots. A touch of madness comes parceled with the gifts of being an arcanist.
That's your brilliant idea? To get us locked up in an asylum? You understand we'd be prisoners there, don't you? It's not like we'd get to put our feet up and relax by a fire.
Harry increasingly agitated companion turned his head aside, catching the faint outline of patrolling Gordon through the frosted window.
You want to go to jail? Well, see that man over there? Go greet him with a punch to the jaw, then you'll be set for the whole winter.
It sounds like a good idea.
What the hell? What do you mean, Sunu?
Recoleta, please. We're not messing with the gendarmeria. We're going to my aunt Julia's. She said she could take us in at her vineyard up north near the capital. Well, it's harvest season. They could use all the help they can get. We'll return to Ushuaia next year. Or when the winter has passed. It'll still be great.
The expression is as cold as a maybe on the
I
table.
hear you, amigos. But respectfully, I must turn down your offer. This has been more than just a road trip for me. I know sticking around here for the winter won't be easy, but this could be my last chance. What if things change again? I can't just wait for spring.
Recoleta.
What did I tell you, Maria? She never listens. Wasting your breath. Adios, Recoleta.
Never listen,
I don't
kata
think we'll
dia.
meet again.
One couple getting word freeze in his mouth.
Mierda! Those gendarmes are looking straight at us.
What?
Bentar guys, TikTokku apa namanya bermasalah nih. Heran. Ayo lo, ngapain lo? The velvet door swing open. A gust of cold air and damp then swept water to the room. Dakota hair stand on end. With chill as you turn the face
Stop
door.
right there! You three match the descriptions of some intruders at the poetry meeting in Casa Pionera.
Yeah. Dakota planned a respawn, only to hear the scrambled hound of her companions bolting away out the back door.
Just when I thought things couldn't get any worse.
It can get any worse, my honey.
Easier to
What
fight
do
here
you
than the back
mean?
alley.
Into the dark, wait for the right moment.
Sharp blade.
Wait for the right moment.
Adios, straniero. You see it coming. Adios, straniero.
Keep going.
For
our
dream
dream
comrades. The gardeners are left behind in the cold, but the flustered young writer still dares not stop running until she stumbles on a patch of wet and mushy snow.
Oh, gracias a Dios. Creo que los perdimos.
Are you alright?
Oh, langsung ketemu Vertin gak tuh?
gracias.
Apa sih Recoleta?
Better to kiss the ground than kiss the gendarme's boots, if one must choose. Wait a second. Doris, is that you?
Ores?
Funny
Huh?
how life moves in circles and puts an old friend in my path. How have you been? Are you paying another visit to Kamala?
Torres.
Torres? And then fall from the sky over to a girl who was just fast planted and gonna save the speaker man.
Could she mean our Dr. Doris?
Torres siapa?
Was I mistaken?
Yes. She wipes the snow from her face. Still, she sees him make out the stranger before her. As her vision cleared, it becomes apparent that fate is not a perfect loot. At least, the person holding the gun in front of her is not the same woman she met before.
How strange.
Halo, Pak
I've never seen
Sonis.
two people so alike.
Kemarin aku dapet Tooth Fairy sama Igor sih. udah pulang. Apa namanya pertama red off ya, kena Tooth Fairy 40 pull, 20 pull selanjutnya Igor. Ya udah. Siap. Tak tidur. Gimana kamu belum dapet kah?
But please, forgive me. It's been a long day.
No need to apologize. In fact,
Tinggal aku
the
ngebul
person you just
doang sih.
mentioned sounds like someone we're looking for. Could you tell me where you last saw her?
Sure, Excuse me. You're not from around here, are you?
Ya,
Their
bless
accents
you
and those
brother.
clothes give you away.
Pasnya nggak pulang, bapak nggak pulang, kasihan.
I know a warmer place to talk.
Kasihan. Nah, mari ku beri garam. Mana garamku? Rarity dong. Nah,
You've come with grace. I can tell from your face.
cuman tinggal ini doang. Oh, versus. Shh. Nah, selesai.
I stand straight and still, for the lives of my soldiers rest on these shoulders.
Ganteng banget anjir, pedih ya. Tidak pedih di mata, tapi pedih di hati. Aku kemarin tuh udah mau ngelempar meja anjir karena dapatnya Tooth Fairy ya. Terus ternyata setelah itu, loh 20 puluh setelahnya, loh apa ini? Ternyata aku dapet coy. Ya tinggal nge-build doang sih.
You've come with grace. I can tell.
Ngapain gua ini, ayo lanjut ceritanya aja. Ini pues.
The moment armies start to march, the world stands still.
Iya, Pepper Heron cantik anjir, aku juga mau Pepper Heron.
You fight or fall back, charge forward or
Bisa
run.
berapa tuh? Ya apa namanya
Those
buat
are the
kepulnya
only
tuh?
rules on the battlefield. I don't see a start time on this report, nor does it state the reason for or the demands of this war.
That's because the war hasn't started yet.
That's what you think. The scars left on the land may be the most obvious form of destruction, but the true devastation of war is one that develops gradually in the souls of people.
Still, I still don't see how this is related to what's happening now.
You don't? The young writers have all been exiled, sent down a path with no signs to follow and no destination.
Harusnya kena red off Regulus. Jangan tanya sisa berapa. Aku 64 banget.
In dark days of bloody conflict,
Kakak.
soldiers often find comfort in scriptures and verses, or in letters from their loved ones. They hold those words close, a fragile
Ya
piece
lumayan
of
sih,
home,
Tooth Fairy aku belum
a
punya,
brief
jadi
solace from the
I'm
roaring
okay,
of
I'm
the
fine, gue
battlefield.
sana.
But as they fall one by one, they learn the bitter truth. No destiny awaits them but death. that bitter homesickness still weighing heavy in their hearts.
I hope they can at least find some peace in their dreams.
In dreams? Maybe. Walking the streets of your hometown. Spending a lazy afternoon at the writing desk. Dreams can take you anywhere.
Tooth Fairy operanya bagus dipasangin sama gas paper heron. Aku masih punya
But
pukul
live there
banyak.
too long,
Masih ada
and the
26
lines
atau
between fiction and
27
reality will
kak.
blur. And
Apa
soon,
sih ini
you'll
currency-nya di
never
sini?
wake up again. Soldiers crawl through trenches, roll in the mud, and charge
Saatnya
to
aku
their
nguli.
deaths again and again.
Nguli.
While
Oh iya,
words are
teardrop.
forever trapped within the confines of
Teardropku
poetry,
masih banyak kan.
made to live.
Diskusi.
die, and live again under the golden prophecy. I can't stand the way poets talk.
Kalau kamu nggak suka apa namanya ngomong kayak poet, ngapain lu ngomong pakai poet anjir? Capek banget ya. Bapak tua ini. Any reports and those reports. Why are there only ever reports? The Ushuaia port explosion. The tremor from the explosion at the Ushuaia port shook the surrounding for nearly 10 seconds. After which strong winds carried the flame across the dock area. Thick smoke spread for several kilometers. The explosion injured 12 people. Over 1,200 residents were evacuated, and it took the Navy and Fire Department nearly 6 hours to contain the fire. Unfortunately, logistics facilities were reduced to ruin. Investigation confirmed that the explosion originated from the three sources: an oil storage tank and 2 cargo warehouses along the third dock. However, the disproportionate scale of the explosion raised suspicions of Arkan skill involvement. It is still unclear whether this incident is related to the mutiny, and simultaneously investigations are ongoing into other Arcanist organizations that may be responsible. What the hell is this? You call this a report? This is all you are having? Panic's already spreading. Do I need to remind you that Ushuaia is our nearest deep water port? Flame higher than the lighthouse, seawater died blood red. This catastrophe is bringing up painful memories of the war from over the decade ago. Our ones are being torn open in the worst way possible. And after all this time I gave you to investigate, you are just giving me a list of possibilities? A few days ago, Powell suspects the lunatic locked up in prison. But what the hell can they even do besides bash their head against barbed wire and spout their pathetic rhetoric? Maybe they scribble out a doppelganger on a pile of backward poetry, conjured up a few imaginary hot air balloons to float them to the port, and then molded a ton of bomb from mud and ice. But chance, the only thing you got right was not including them in your list of suspects. Otherwise, I have to drown in that prison alongside them. Streamingnya aku mau prepare juga soalnya. Oke, semangat juga streamnya kawan. Semangat. Semangat mendapatkan. Bapak Ibu udah nggak pulang. Authority is always so flexible. Buenos Aires Division Intake Report. The Buenos Aires Division has received member of the Storm Research Team, Ulrich and Regulus. Hah? Ulrich sama Regulus ngapain di sini anjir? The Time Keeper and her assistant received a message upon landing Tierra del Fuego and have departed on a mission. This message source and detail of the operation has been reported by Soneto. Our site currently has no access. Other survivor taken in: Barcarola, pureblood arcanist and musician aboard the Free Breeze. Ini ceritain yang kemarin, yang apa namanya kapal itu si Regulus. Regulus, iya, oke. Patutu, a pureblood arcanist and a member of Nekoteo people. Further investigation of our people is required. For the full risk level, assessment report see attachment 135. Oh, ini setelah ceritanya Barcarola. Oke.
According to these news reports from Ushuaia, there was an arcane attack on the pier about a
Ushuaia.
week ago.
Oh ya,
All
bacanya
the ships in the
Ushuaia.
port were destroyed. Could Manus Vindicte be responsible for this? Or perhaps the Xeno rebels?
Hard to say. But things have been suspiciously quiet these past few days. I had been hoping we'd find some clues here in Ushuaia after we lost track of the Manus in the Free Breeze shipwreck. They would have gone to ground somewhere remote and off the radar. Indeed, it's possible they've already left Ushuaia. For whatever reason, it seems they haven't been pushing for the storm to happen quite as eagerly as before. I have a strange feeling about it all. They're definitely up to something. For
Kapan
now,
sih Manus
it
Vindicte
seems our
diam-diam
new
aja?
friend's story lines up with the intel from
Dia
Moth.
diam berarti braving something,
It
coy.
seems the Xeno rebels really did bring Dr. Doras here. We should see if there's anything more she can tell us.
Timekeeper,
The chief assistant is hesitate.
the Foundation doesn't have any intelligence on Tierra del Fuego. If the Manus really are here, then we'll be on our own. The closest Foundation branch is in Buenos Aires, 3,200 kilometers
What
away.
the hell? Jauh banget, Njir. The reflect without words, a reminder that the chaos caused by Ego Rebellion is still
Careful
fresh.
and well considered as ever, Seneko. It's possible they've already infiltrated Ushuaia, just as they did in Chisos. But the Xeno rebels may still be holding Doras. We can't just wait around. I'm afraid we'll have to take the risk. Ushuaia is not very big. If Manus Vindicte is here, we'll notice. Stay sharp.
Understood, Timekeeper.
Understood.
I'll keep an eye out for them and for Dr. Doras.
After a chaotic hunt and escape, the cafe regains its usual pace. The government are gone, and so are the Recoleta companions.
My friends. They're really gone. Adios, Recoleta. I don't think we'll meet again. So that's all I get? We could have exchanged some farewell poems, read them out loud like we used to, and shed a few bitter tears over our heartfelt goodbyes. But you know what they say. Goodbyes are only a senseless feast of unhappiness. Pardon? Oh, it's nothing. Never mind. Please, sit down. And could we get a pot of mate with mint, please?
Thank you.
Recoleta was his interest as the two girls take the offered cup of tea.
So you're looking for Doris? I can tell she's important to you from your look. Correct. Is there anything more you could tell us about the day you met her? Of course, it was one of those gray, overcast afternoons.
Aduh, ngomongnya pakai apa poetry kayak
I
nih,
had
coy.
just turned onto Calle Bolivar when I ran into this
Enggak.
blind woman on my way to the post office. To be
Dia
exact,
storyteller toh.
I didn't run into her. She called to me. It felt like a sacred moment in time. Like something unworldly. I just stood there, frozen, as she walked up and fixed a loose thread on my sweater. I stared at her until my fingers went numb, and the letter almost slipped out of my hand.
Miss, could you tell me what's in that direction?
I followed her hand as she pointed forward. Strangely, even though I could see she was blind, I had a feeling that she knew exactly where she was pointing and where she intended to go.
Iya, dia
That's
buta
the way
tapi.
to Comala prison, Senora. Is that where you're headed? I could walk you there if you'd like.
Thank you, Miss. But I think I found my way.
She held a typewriter. How ironic that God would give her, at once, both books and night. I am Recoleta. What may I call you, miss? I
I hope you don't mind me asking, Senora. I didn't mean to pry. It's only that I have to know. You're a writer too, aren't you? I've been working on a novel and for some reason, I have this feeling you could be a character in it. Forgive me. I'm just so excited. I really want to remember this moment. Please, may I have your name? Or whatever you'd like me to call you?
Halo Anharu, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Semoga sedang menuju harus nih, welcome.
I don't think I'll ever
Medang
forget
perang
your
apa,
smile.
Njir?
It was soft,
Kamu pinjam 100 nanti
kind,
tanggal 10 nanti halah
almost
jempol.
merciful. And oddly, it felt so ancient.
No offense taken.
Felt
Miss
ancient.
Recoleta. But first, I have a question for you.
Ancient,
What
Doris.
does literature mean to you?
What are you, Doris? What the hell?
Sorry?
Jadi Doris bukan sembarang
What a
Doris ya?
question it was. I wasn't expecting anything like it.
You're a writer, are you not? And one I sense with purpose. Tell me, where does such powerful motivation come from?
Actually, well, I'm not sure, Senora. I have my pursuits and questions, but literature is neither the goal nor the answer to them. Literature is, well, it's just literature. I suppose if I had to define it, I'd say it's a tool. A kindling for fire, or a lens to see through. A means to explore and raise questions from different angles and express our perspectives.
And what an interesting perspective you've expressed. I see. But how does literature make you feel?
As though I'm a kid looking through a
Jangan-jangan
kaleidoscope for the
Doris
first
ini
time.
ada hubungannya sama Arcana kah?
Well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. Perhaps something a little more subtle.
Ini nanti ceritanya bakal
Just when I was
kayak
looking for the
ceritanya
right
si siapa nih, si
she turned
cewek
away
itu,
with a
si
little
siapa
wave,
sih, Mami itu,
heading toward the prison, her feet crunching
yang
over the fine
akhirnya
snow.
aku nggak ngepul. Mamanya,
Though she must have gone to the
mamanya
prison.
si Matilda.
When did all of this happen?
Bisa terus
About 3 days
bisa, chatku diri tay
I
kagak
remember the
biji.
sun came out for a while that day,
Aku tak
and the
tahu.
streets were glistening with melting
Kamu
snow.
harusnya tahu, Below. Oh,
You've heard of
Beryl.
Kamala
Iya,
Prison,
Beryl.
haven't you?
Beryl. Word by word, the questions learned from implication into declaration.
3 days ago. Then we may be able to catch up with her there, timekeeper.
You're right. We need to get there as soon as we can.
Whoa, amazing. So decisive, assertive. A true show of character. You must be the very archetype of a charismatic leader. What's left to say? Whenever the protagonist has what they want fall into their laps, we're all quick to complain about lazy writers using Deus Ex Machina to keep the
Please lah,
story
ngutang
together.
minimal jangan ghosting
So,
ya,
let's
ngutangin,
not dwell
jangan
on it.
dimales. They reconcile this observation with a silent nod, an unseen author.
But anything can happen in a place like Ushuaia. It's a city where the day may only last 4 hours, and the streets are full of exiled arcanists.
We appreciate your help, Miss.
Recoleta, please think nothing of it.
Miss Recoleta. I'm Vertin, and this is Soneto. We're investigators from the St. Pavlov Foundation.
Pleasure to meet you.
Likewise. Glad that I could help. But listen, ladies.
The girl winks playfully. What? Why are you
Everything
winking,
happens for a
bro?
reason, and now it's becoming clear. You're going to Kamala prison, and so am I. Maybe it's fate that brought us together.
What's your business there? If you don't mind our asking.
Oh, it's a writer's mission. But anyway, we're friends now. If you're going to Kamala, you'll need
Mencurigakan kamu,
someone who
Recoleta,
knows the
ngapain
way.
sih? Orang yang ngutangin itu karena percaya, bro. Kepercayaan pengen Gepuk dia. Gepuk saat ini juga, Hana Haru. Ya, Vertin, salkan aku. Capek. The great river bed winds through the frostbite earth, disappearing into distant horizon. A net yacht elevated circular complex stand alone beneath a snow-capped mountain as if abandoned by God, humanity, and coastline. Outside the fence, three unavailed glass discuss their plan to get inside.
Behold, Komala Prison. It's the biggest building around. When the sun comes out, it looks like a rusty button stitched into the earth. Everyone tries not to pay attention to it, but it's undoubtedly one of the most important places in town. This way. Careful. We're heading uphill. Oops!
Ayah. The young writer begins to sleep again. She is prevented only by a quick
Thanks.
reflex.
So, my new friends, you're from
Paham
that
sih
St.
sekali sih
Palomino's?
Rokalata, Njir.
St. Pavlov Foundation. And Vertin is the timekeeper there.
Ah, very impressive. Sounds all official and polished. Then I take it you've already got away into the prison?
The cat presents an unwelcoming face to the world.
I'll draft a letter to headquarters right away. Once they approve it, they'll notify the local branch in Buenos Aires. From there, they'll need to inform the Argentine government, who will then issue us a permit.
Excellent. Looks like our bureaucrats still have some worth. No offense intended, of course.
Since we're pressed for time, I believe we can ask that headquarters give high priority to our request. If all goes well, we should have the permit in about a month.
About a month?
How expedient of them. But you know what? Maybe we shouldn't bother all those hard-working government
Rokalata ini
officials with
apa?
these
Dia
trifling matters
pencuri
after
kah?
all.
She instantly returned to her previous chat.
I have a simpler solution that suits the urgency of our cause.
That sounds great. Oh, where are you going, Miss Recoleta?
You're going in, without a permission, of course. Before anyone can stop her, the young writer hurled herself off the wall, scaling the side. Alah. Scaling the side with a sort of skill that immediately suggests she's done this before.
To the other side of the wall, of course. From Guadalajara
Kayak
to
pencuri anjir.
Ushuaia. There has yet to be a wall that could stop me. Come on, ladies of the Foundation. Soneto, take my hand.
Senator looks utterly flustered.
Miss Recoleta, please. A reckless act like that could have serious consequences. Please come back down. In fact, while the details of our mission are classified, I should warn you it may be dangerous, and we cannot guarantee your safety once we're inside. Perhaps it's in your best interest to return to town.
What? That is definitely not in my best interest. What sort of pusillanimous coward would I be if I just abandoned my fated companions here? Of course I'm going in with you. Or rather, you're coming with me.
Please get down, Miss Recoleta. Someone's coming our way.
From the other side of the prison fence appeared a turquoise lock on the figure
Stop
forced
right
in the
there.
wall.
What do you think you're doing?
Siapa itu?
Caramba, it's her again. The jailer of
Recoleta ya,
Komala.
Recoleta. Maksudnya? Recoleta ya, Recoleta.
Did she say jailer or jaguar?
Straight to the point. I like that.
Maaf guys. Anyway,
Into the darkness.
into the unknown. Into the
Dark
unknown.
You see it coming.
As long as I've got you at my side, I've got nothing to worry about.
Jadi Haname tahu kan karakter yang satu pes sama Recoleta siapa ya?
Miss Recoleta, haven't I made myself clear? I don't want to see you here again.
Anjir, ku kira Fury ternyata 100% hewan anjir.
Jailer, we meet again. What a delightful encounter on such a...
That's a sudden gust of cold wind interrupt her.
lovely day.
Is it lovely day?
Would you please just leave this place alone? I'll never understand why a promising young woman like you keeps snooping around a prison. I can't make this any clearer. Trying to break into Kamala will do nothing to get you inside, but it will get you into a world of trouble with the Gendarmeria. So, will you stop these senseless breaking attempts? Kamala Prison is only accessible to academic researchers and journalists, and even they must have official credentials in order to enter.
Isn't there any other way to pay a visit? I truly do need to get in there.
She racked her brain for plausible cause.
Sorry to interrupt, but did you just say official credentials?
Yes, you heard me right. And you are?
I'm the timekeeper of the St. Pavlov Foundation. My assistant and I are here to visit Kamala Prison on official orders from the Foundation. Here, this is my ID.
Soneta Lala as a total of lying. Soneta flip fall to open for even a squeak. She goes splash red with embarrassment. Through the prison fence, the jailer examined the pair us to take the ID in her sizable paw. It's at least very presentable looking card, boldly stamped with the seal of the St. Pavlov Foundation.
This is indeed legitimate.
Yes, he murmured.
Welcome to Kamala Prison. Apologies for my earlier behavior. It's been a while since we've had any official visitors.
Kebanyakan kayak capek banget anjir. Kalau ada cara yang gampang, kenapa pakai cara yang kalau ada yang cara yang susah, kenapa pakai cara yang gampang ya? Pinter banget, cantikku manisku. Terus gua. Terus sambil ngemil MD Han, monggo.
Día tras día,
Ngemil MD itu kayak gimana ya? MD-nya dimakan gitu.
En la naturaleza fuera del pueblo de Amalfitano, estudiando los datos que había recolectado. Una tarde, al anochecer, una voz llamó desde fuera de su cueva. Ella dejó el equipo y las cintas y salió afuera. Un hombre estaba de pie, curioso, frente a su puerta. ¿Qué haces aquí?, preguntó, levantando ambas cejas. Nada sucede en Amalfitano en estos días. El local se presentó como el empleado del banco. Probablemente tenía la cara más amable
Ada 4
del
hidung
lugar.
bos baru, jadi sedang
Ojos
ku cari
brillantes,
buat kumuk
mejillas levantadas,
Bisa
una
begitu ya.
mandíbula suave. Era una cara llena de esperanza.
Aduh, kepencet.
La investigadora le mostró los espectros que había estado recopilando. He estado
Bahasa apa sih ini,
recolectando
Spanyol ya?
historias sobre el dado, explicó. Quizás ellos contienen la clave para explicar la aleatoriedad que muestra el destino.
Referensinya cowok.
Eso realmente me intriga.
Really?
Respondió rápidamente
Pantas
el empleado del
pencilaan.
banco.
Pencilaan,
Me encantaría
petakilan.
escuchar todo sobre
You
eso.
name it.
Pero debo
Welcome,
irme. No debo llegar tarde al funeral
Amin.
del
Kenapa
pescador
Amin,
de
Njir?
dulces.
Welcome,
Y con
Am.
eso
Gimana kabarmu
se
hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus
3
nih
días
welcome.
después, los mismos pasos regresaron a su cueva. ¿Volviste? ¿Cómo has estado? ¿Lograste llegar al funeral?, preguntó. No tengo idea de lo que estás hablando, respondió de manera cortante. No soy el hombre que crees que soy. Su rostro estaba agotado y demacrado, sus ojos hundidos profundamente en huecos vacíos. Era como si toda chispa de vida le hubiera sido arrancada, dejándolo solo con una cáscara vacía. La investigadora insistió que no se había equivocado. Conozco a las personas por su naturaleza más profunda, hasta la sincronización de sus espectros. Nunca me he equivocado antes. Lo que tú digas, el hombre murmuró de manera áspera. No entiendo nada de
Penting
tus
banget ya ini,
ideas
cuy.
tan elevadas.
Ini nyeritain sampai
Solo déjame ir.
berusaha
Hasta un largo día
doain
de
bahasa
pesca.
Spanyol
Lo
anjir.
único que quiero ahora es desplomarme en mi cama tan
Capek banget.
Se alejó con pasos que sonaban exactamente como los del empleado del banco.
As you might have noticed, Miss Burton, this facility isn't just a prison. It's also a research center. Its full name is the Panopticon of Kamala. It was established by the Foucault Association in
Dekolata
1970.
dari negara Amerika Selatan. Nah,
We've
lupa
hosted
namanya
workshops,
Sewet
academic
Meksiko.
sessions, and even lectures about the Panopticon.
Sini
You may even
tulisannya
have seen some
Usaya.
reports about it.
Tapi dia dari mana
Experts
gitu?
of psychoanalysis
Dari
and
mana
scholars
gitu?
from various fields have come here to exchange ideas and seek collaboration in their studies. In many ways, the Panopticon is unlike
Spanish.
any other prison you've seen before.
I see. No wonder Miss Recoleta has gone to such lengths to become a part of it. Actually, my assistant and I are here to inquire about a prisoner named Doris. Does that name sound familiar?
Doris pernah ke prisoner sini? Oh, di prisoner tapi para researcher gitu.
Not that I recall. Could she have used a different name? What does she look like?
She'd have arrived here about 3 days ago.
3 days ago?
It's also possible that she came as a visitor, not a prisoner. She's a blind woman who always carries an old typewriter. She used to be a doctor at the Sao Paulo Veterans Residence in Brazil. And on the subject of different names, she once wrote for Atu under the name Erd.
I don't think I've seen anyone fit in that description. And as
Oh,
I said, we haven't had
Chile.
any visitors in some time. Certainly not in the last 3 days.
I see.
But I did see her. I saw her walking towards Kamala prison.
Someone must have mixed up their memories. Simply put, I don't recall seeing anyone by that name or with that description here.
I see. Thank you, miss. Perhaps we made a mistake.
Sensing that her current line of questioning is going nowhere, she shifts toward a different topic.
Miss Recoleta, you've gone to great lengths to get into the Panopticon. Would you mind telling us why?
Finally, I've been waiting for you to ask.
Kenapa
I'm here
nggak
to
langsung
find
ngomong
my
aja,
pen
Bang?
pal in Kamala.
You have a pen pal? In here?
Yes. 6 months ago, I went to a book exhibition in Guadalajara and came across
Ada
the
referensinya
contact
juga
details
kalau
of a
nggak
few
salah
writers.
tempatnya. Oh,
I
beneran
sent them
ada
my
tempatnya
novel
ya.
and
Tapi
asked for
reverse
feedback.
sih, pasti ada tempatnya nggak sih?
Looking back,
Tempatnya
it
bukan
was a
apa
bit
namanya, bukan
forward.
kaleng-kaleng,
and
beneran
nothing
ada
unheard of
pasti.
between writers. A lot of friendships start through letters, you see. And Aleph wrote back.
Alep? Oh, manusia itu, manusia yang tampan yang itu. Dakota produced a thick stack of letter from her coat. The recipient address changed with each letter, reflecting the turbulent lifestyle of wandering writer. Yet the sender address is eternally constant, Komala.
And how much do you know about this pen pal of yours?
Alah, pencet.
Oh, well, he calls himself Aleph, which is a grammatically masculine word, so...
So you assume Aleph is a man?
A reasonable suspicion, but in her expression never ascertained.
Yes, he's probably a poet, a writer, perhaps even an alchemist. He's one of the brightest people I know. There's never been a question that he couldn't answer. I've asked him about religion, politics, history, potions, even critters in length and breadth. Can you imagine someone who knows all those things and so extensively too? And he helped me with my novel. He always seems to know the best ways to bring my characters to life. Honestly, he's so insightful. I've begun wondering if he's omniscient.
Omnipotent.
With his help,
bukannya.
my story grew richer and fuller, like a well-tended plant. Strangely, can't seem to take it any further now. It's as if the roots have been sapped of their strength. I couldn't understand why, so I resolved that I would see him in person to find out.
Again with this story about your uncanny pen pal, I've already told you a dozen times. It's all very moving, but it still doesn't justify your actions. Writers experience mental blocks all the time. Yet you don't
Cover
see them
story
trying
nice,
to break into a
gameplay
prison.
iya betul, story nice. Gameplay
point.
aku tidur dulu.
Please, Burden,
Nah itu
Jailer,
Reko sama
have a
Alep
little
patchnya.
mercy, will you?
Oh.
Hold on. I've been meaning to ask. Why are you only calling her Jailer? Don't you know her name? Or do you just prefer addressing people by their occupation?
Oh, about that.
Unexpectedly, it is the Jaguar herself that speak up.
It's okay, Miss Verton. I don't mind being called by my job title. I take pride in what I do. I'm perfectly fine with just being the jailer.
Tapi namamu siapa?
Exactly. A researcher is a researcher, and a jailer is a jailer. Titles and code names often tell us more about people than their ordinary given names, don't you think? Take soneto, for example. Your name comes from sonnets, doesn't it? That great poetic form from Italy. Some people mistakenly think Shakespeare invented it. Some say it was Petrarca, though no one really knows when the first sonnet was written. Sorry, I'm straying from my point. You're Italian, aren't you, Soneto? Is that your real name or just a code name? Were your parents poets?
As much as I'd like to be able to answer your question, I never knew my parents.
Biar gelap.
My earliest memories were of the School of Primary Defense of Mankind. I've lived there since I was a small child.
Gelap.
My apologies. That was thoughtless of me.
Emang writer
fine.
kayak gitu semua
We
ya?
would know a
Kayak
little
Recolata
intent, I'm
semua ya?
Timekeeper, if Miss Recoleta was right about Dr. Doris's whereabouts, perhaps the jailer is keeping things from us. Or perhaps Dr. Doris visited the Panopticon without her knowledge. Either way, we need to do some digging here.
I agree. Let's see if we can talk to some of the inmates and find out what they know.
Siap-siap merasa gak enak lehermu, Han. Kenapa? Kenapa leherku? As a chat.
Ladies, we're about to enter the main
Corridor
hall of the
no
Panopticon.
terminal appointment was also
This is one of the places where the inmates spend their recreation time. At this hour, they are supposed to be in their cells. But what's all that noise?
You tell me, the jailer seems to be tense with apparently unusual amount of noise.
Miss Verton, could you keep an eye on Recoleta if anything happens?
Yep. Recoleta tries her best to avoid the hard stare of the feline jailer by blending into the Foundation team.
What do you
Certainly.
take me for? I'm not going to run away. That'd be a pretty cheesy way to start a story.
Really?
Please, just stay close to me.
Apa ini? Darkness has no form. The ever-shifting gaze shifts into a very every crayfish, crayfish. Oh, look. Oh, looks like we have got new arrival. It's pitch black in here. Can't be sure she's new just yet. Hey there, welcome to La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas. Waduh, namanya panjang banget anjir. Or maybe she's one of those who broke out and came back of her own accord. Keeping quiet, huh? I get it. This must be the sacred moment for you. A return to the darkness. Gelap banget anjir. ¿Dores? La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas? The texture she felt on her way here do not match the words she just heard. Guided by her keen hearing, she paused mid-step in what she seemed to be a reasonable open space. The room fell into silence like the longest minute in human history. Are you still there? A faint cough, a half of a sigh in the darkness. Pardon me, but have we met before? This is my first time in this prison, as far as I can recall. What a strange thing to say, prison. Oh, what a strange thing to say, prisons. When was the last time we heard someone say that? Back when the narrator was published? Wait, you aren't some ancient ghost here in pursuit of realism, are you? There is theoretical flair in her voice. Rusty gates, pitch black cell, prisons. Bars for exchanging letter, a peaceful and secluded place. Sociedad de Poetas. And no, we don't know you. The three of them are spaced just far enough apart to barely make out each other's face in the dark. Buset, dibikin hitam putih banget, brother. What? What a wonderful example, Garcia. Exactly. It all depends on how you choose to see the world, my new friend. Itu pakai baju orang gila tuh kayak gimana, Njir? Roberta, we don't have much time. This might be the most important gathering of the month. No, maybe even of the year. You're right, Garcia. At this moment, nothing is more important than the salon the idealist has carefully prepared. You should focus on sorting out those manuscripts first. Pardon the interruption, but might I ask why your organization is called La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas? I assume it is simply due to geography. Don't worry, Senora. We make it a point to introduce our sociedad to every new friend. But now isn't quite the time. After the salon ends, we will ask the jailer about your accommodation. Wait a minute, Roberta. Your eyes are well adjusted to the dark. Use them. He's neither a newcomer nor returnee. He is a blind woman. Please forgive Garcia's rudeness, Senora. A sensory limitation can sometimes bring sharper intuition. In that colorful world of the mind, I'm sure what you see is even more beautiful than reality. But if you weren't brought by position, then why are you here? Bajunya kayak baju orang gila, anjir. She tries to construct a fiction. What? Cepet banget sih tulisannya, anjir. In her mind, something that could justify the surreal nature of her arrival. From the humid trade winds of Sao Paulo to the crashing surf of the cliff, now this strange land greets me for the first time with nothing but cold silence. Oh iya, dia sama Miss Manus Vindicte cuy, aku hampir lupa kalau dia di bawah sama Manus Vindicte. Miss Earth is to be placed in Osaya Komala prison. She is not to be treated as an ordinary inmate. In the words of the preacher, you are our honored guest, Miss Earth. I've come to learn the name of this land, Ushuaia, from that young lady retelling. It lies at the southernmost tip of the vast continent of South America. As we walked, I could feel her gaze upon me, steady yet never intrusive. I could tell she meant me no harm. I have informed the administrator of Kamala Prison of your identity and special circumstance. He will ensure your safety. Good luck and farewell. I sensed I had been brought to a place most unusual, a building with a quiet peculiar in the air. The attendant followed close behind me, some form of liquid dripping from their face. I suppose I must claim a little freedom for myself in this place. I thought the darkness was a blessing. It wasn't too difficult to shake them off. I'm sorry for your undue trouble, my diligent friend. Dia buta tapi dia gampang slip off ya. Gila sih, keren. I'm a Briton and I'm mostly right under the name Earth. I'm here for a short visit, hoping to find some inspiration for my next story. I'm afraid I don't know of this physician you mentioned. See, Garcia, this lady is a writer, a good soul. You almost made us miss out on meeting a kindred spirit. Come. I'm sure we'll find love with our saloon. This is nothing to do with me. It's dark in here, but I suppose you have already grown used to walking in the dark. Sorry, I meant no offense. Iya, buta-buta menggigit anjir. Maksudku buta-buta lincah. Menggigit apanya anjir? Kau aku digigit gitu. Terus kita berubah jadi zombie gimana? Anyway. The American Fable.
I didn't expect any of this from what we saw outside.
Gila gede banget anjir di dalam. The mudlot yet pristine wall, still water, the silent white towering standing within the labyrinth. Nearby several prisoners from circles, some standing, some sitting, engaged in conversation. Gede banget prisonnya anjir.
Excuse me for a moment. I have duties that I must attend to.
With a sigh, the jailer stepped into the gathering, causing a strangely subdued reaction from the prisoner.
They don't seem intimidated by her at all.
Yeah.
Welcome Rehan, gimana kabar hari? Terima kasih sudah menonton Harus nih.
And the jailer seems to be like a grumpy neighbor coming over to ask them to keep it down.
Grumpy neighbor anjir. The grumpy neighbor continues her chastising.
Everyone, you know the rules. There are to be no after-hours gatherings here without the physician's approval.
Mereka orang gila atau kayak gimana sih?
You sound softer and softer each time you come to warn us. Why not just join us? Isn't it better than circling around the Panopticon all day? And look around you. We're in the Hall of New Encounters. What better place to host a salon?
You're missing out in Komala if you don't even get a taste of our literature.
Ya orang gila anjir.
Exactly.
Inlet beneran atau orang gila sih? Gak ngerti anjir.
By from time to time. Not that they're the kind to care about the beauty of words.
Oil dripping musicians? Timekeeper, could they mean...
Before the jailer can say anything else, two of the prisoners simultaneously gesture for her to stay silent, pointing to the center of the gathering.
Please. The Edile's salon is about to start.
These people seem friendly enough. Why don't we see what this is about?
Malah nonton coy. Ditontonin nggak tuh?
En desiertos, en estrellas, dentro de laberintos.
En aguas, en espejos, dentro de reflejos.
Soñamos sobre la almohada de paja de la muerte.
Dah pakai bahasa itu semua
Aquí
anjir.
estamos, rendiendo homenaje a los fantasmas.
Para rendirlo todo otra vez.
Penis bukan
Para
sih?
rendirlo todo otra vez.
My dear friends, we face a difficult truth. The movement of visceral realism still stumbles in the dark.
Kenapa matanya ditutup, Jir?
Our poems, our language, our minds
Ini manusia dikte kah?
are tangled by a stifling vine. A mundane,
What?
stale vision shared among all bourgeoisie. We follow this vision blindly, clinging to the comfort brought by logic and conventional wisdom. And by it, we nip every branch of new art in the bud. Poems are perhaps too fragile an outgrowth to develop one's life upon. But here, we may light them like candles at our funerals. Let poetry become the bridge between us and the world.
Jir, ini prison atau apa sih, Jir? Fancy banget anjir. Oops. Alangkah.
As we come back and forth over the boundaries of life and death, the old obstacles begin to take on a new look. With the eyes of poets, we may see behind them. You're a visceral realist. I can't be mistaken. You must be.
The idealist eyes pierce through the grove of a literary enthusiast, reaching a distant, drifting new world.
A lonely cowboy, finally home. What a wonder. You're in time. The salon has just begun. And La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas isn't like those salons that care more about who's invited than the art. All are welcome here.
A literary salon in a prison? Though, so far it seems to have more dancing than poems.
Did you understand what that man just said?
No, sorry, timekeeper. I need a moment to think it through.
Don't worry, Sonato. I would guess we're not the only ones who are confused here. Miss Jailer, is this that peculiarity about Kamala you mentioned earlier?
Kenapa ngelah nafas banget
Enough,
anjir?
idealist. You're still an inmate here, and you are walking a very fine line right now.
Oh, I'm quite aware of where I am and what lines I tread.
Yeah.
This is a prison. The safest place for poets in this part of the continent. One cannot be arrested twice, after all.
Cannot be arrested twice. The men were stroll after go out of prisoner as they turn to discuss the speech with excitement.
But please, don't trouble yourself with our little...
Njir ini pasti full apa namanya, full poet semua anjir, otakku kobong. Welcome Harai, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Semoga sudah minum sudah saya welcome all the regular rhymes with the word contradiction of aesthetic converts into a chaotic counter pressing into against the newcomers. Dakota clenched her fist in shock, certain that the man before her is mysterious pen pal.
Senor Idealist, might I ask you something?
Suamiku? Kenapa bisa
Hold on,
suamiku anjir?
Recoleta. All forms of communication with the inmates must conform to our regulations. We will need to record the conversation and submit it to higher authorities for review.
Anjir.
I have some questions for the gentleman as well, but we're more than willing to follow the rules. I think the person I'm looking for might have attended this literary salon, or at least talked to some of its members. I'd wager she's spoken to that gentleman.
That is,
Karena aku tak mau klaim.
if she has
Maksudmu
been here
apa,
at all.
Njir?
I see. Go ahead then. Just watch the time.
Maksudnya apa, Njir? As a visitor petition the jailer, Recoleta pushed past the bustling crowd and take a deep breath.
Are you Aleph?
Deep breath. Salah. The noisy atmosphere plunges into silence, just like the still water nearby. The idealist is evidently taken back by the name.
Oh, another visitor looking for Olive.
So you know him?
Naturally, but I'm not obliged to speak of him to one who does not. Stranger.
Stranger? Jawabnya loh. The silence is non-committal, turning toward Recoleta companion.
And you, young lady in the hat, are you here for Olive as well? What a lively day this is.
No, I'm looking for a blind woman. Her name is Doris.
Ah, yes. I remember. Her writing was impeccable.
Welcome
Like an
semua,
exquisite
gimana kabar hari ini?
crocodile
Semoga
skin
sudah minum, sudah
handbag
sehat,
in
sudah harus
shop
welcome.
Elegant, yet condescending.
Condescending?
Do you know where she is now?
Why
I'm
condescending?
not able to keep track of every inmate here, miss. Perhaps you should ask those who have seen everything from above.
From
Through
above?
the glass, where the scrutinizing eyes of power look down on us.
Mereka dilihat dari kaca. Emang di zaman sekarang ada. He scanned the prison hall, the wall, great tower, and the pool remains unchanged. Nothing appears amiss. All the prisoners are present, not in agreement, prompting a weary sigh.
Have you
From the
taken your
jailer.
medicine today, idealist?
Orang gila beneran, Njir.
I'm feeling marvelous.
Di prison
Today I
buat orang
require no
gila.
help from them.
Njir.
I've warned you. It's unwise to act against the physician's orders.
Njir.
Act against him? No one may act against him here. The physician must have misunderstood us. I suspect he doesn't understand half of what we say. I'd like to know how he got his medical degree. Not by cracking open skulls, I should hope.
The prisoner exchanged nodding smile.
What a pity, jailer. You know, I've always believed you had the soul of a poet, just like us. We've already
Ini
spoken
poet-poetnya
enough
apa namanya,
rebellious
otaknya nggak
thoughts
bener semua,
outside of
anjir.
Komapa. How else do you think we ended up in your nut house? We've been here far too long. Long after the junta was removed from office. After our home became a deserted wasteland in the aftermath of the Latin American boom.
What are you getting at?
That power is boring, meaningless. Nothing holds on to power forever. And the one true connection we have to life is poetry.
Orang di sini gendeng-gendeng
See,
kabeh.
jailer? Even an outsider understands our ideas better than you. It's time to open your eyes to reality.
Open your
La
eyes.
Sociedad is the only way for us to feel truly alive in here, beneath the gaze of those prying, ever-vigilant eyes.
Idealist, last warning. Stop this now.
Fine, fine. All right, compañeros. Sadly, the salon must come to an end, as our jailer insists.
The crowd murmurs and grumbles as they begin to disperse.
Dear friends, I do not mean to abuse the power of suspense. I sincerely invite you to come with me to the heart of La Sociedad
Welcome
de
to the
Poetas de las
membership,
Americas.
Sukma. Welcome. Semoga kamu betah ya di sini.
You'll find the person you look for there.
The men strike a gesture somehow equally comedic and solemn.
We'd love to. Only if that's okay with you, Miss Jailer.
I suppose that's all right. You're already here. We can call it part of your tour, but please, ladies, take none of
Atau
the rambling
mereka ini
seriously.
bekasnya Manus Vindicte ya?
Thank you, jailer.
Terus dianggap
Please,
gila, makanya
follow
dia taruh sini. Bisa jadi sih, bisa jadi. Kenapa kita nyerang, Njir?
I got it now.
Wait.
It isn't the usual way. It's a shortcut. We call it the reptilian complex and primal hunger route. Much faster than the limbic system and postmodern anxiety route, let me tell you.
But this passageway has long been abandoned, and entry is prohibited. It's extremely dangerous to...
Relax, jailer. No one, not even you, knows this prison better than I.
But, Timekeeper, I think we've just gone in a circle.
Betullah selama sore bebas seperti binasa. Binasa? Aku binasa. Binasa sampai jam 6 streamnya kalau nggak ada halangan. Binasa, anjir, aku dibinasakan. Damn. Serem.
Wait for the right moment. Into the darkness.
Into
You
the
see it coming.
darkness.
Liberato dalla paura.
Ya, aku timekeeper, kamu maju, aku jagain gawang. Gawang anjir gua bacanya.
Wait for the right sharp way.
Just another shift.
Addio, straniero. Non voltarti indietro. What you think about this?
Yes, I got what I'm good at. Yes, I got this. I can do it. The wind blows through you, and higher than a bell tower, and even the clouds.
And even the clouds. Turn base ini, Mbak. Iya, ini turn base.
You see it coming. Non voltarti indietro.
Turn base pakai kartu.
Addio, straniero.
Game story bagus, terhalang gameplay, betul. Menurutku story-nya lebih bagus ini daripada gua, gak sih? I mean di sini apa namanya? Kalau nyeritainnya lebih depth. Mungkin kita apa namanya nggak terlalu nyambung karena ada side story yang belum dikerjain doang.
Let's take a step back. Pull you out of that whirlwind
Ya, aku
of
tanya
passion
kamu
and
maju
dreams.
aku turn left boleh nggak, Mbak?
If you want to
Don't
make
turn
the
left.
best call,
And
you need
whatever
to zero
happen,
in on
don't
what
turn
really
left.
matters. So what's your take on that big speech?
The Latin American boom.
A sudden explosion that shook Latin American literary circles about 30 years ago. It was destructive, but also gave rise to new life. Lucky for us, we don't have to worry about shell shock in the literary world.
You don't strike me as someone who knows about literature.
It's not about knowing literature. Any
Literature.
soldier with little experience can deliver a status report. All right, eyes on the map. As we speak, ships are lined up on the Spanish coast. But this time, they're poised to make a new kind of discovery. If you can
Tapi
call it
word
that.
buildingnya cakep banget, reverse, tapi masih kalah kataku lawan Arknek. Arknek minus nggak ada suara doang. Kan ada suaranya,
Here are new
Enfield.
Columbuses, heading to the docks to embark on their journey.
Who are these new Columbus?
Carmen and Carlos, the driving force behind this literary feast between Spain and Latin America. Carmen, with an eye for opportunity and a mind for business, sought out the continent's literary gems and secured generous publishing deals for them. Carlos, with his deep understanding of market dynamics, brought these works to the eyes of the European public.
What happened then?
Then, a golden era began. It all kicked off with a scandal at a military academy. And soon, the entire world was captivated
Gimana
by
ada
the
vision
story of
episode
a
2
baby
dari
with
World
a
Quest
pig's tail
World
from a
Quest
faraway
belum.
land.
Aku belum ada waktu, coy.
But we mustn't forget the
Belum
writers
ada
themselves.
waktu.
Fuentes, a towering figure of the Spanish-speaking world, and Cortázar. And of course, Mario and Gabo. Key players in this literary revolution will forever be etched in the annals of history. They corresponded regularly, always expressing deep admiration for each other's work. In fact, one even wrote a doctoral thesis on the other.
Bikin doctoral thesis.
Friendship.
Doctoral thesis dari temennya, anjir. Berdasarkan temennya. That must have been a proud time for them.
It was. But no matter how explosive the boom was, it
Belum
couldn't
lihat
escape its
Pepe.
fleeting nature.
Saya belum melihat apa namanya.
With the second imprisonment and
Melihat
self-criticism
masterpiece.
of a Cuban poet, in came an inexplicable right hook, and bang, silence. The military junta had gripped the poets' throats. The verse of the pioneers was cut off. Their voices no longer heard.
Dibunuh, hah?
The bond between two generations was broken, and for the younger of the two, the silence was intolerable. They looked for a new theme, a new idea, a new voice, a new method to speak on their disappointment, their horror, and their anger.
Iya, di apa namanya, dibungkam anjir.
And they became the new guerrillas.
Gorillas. Gimana sih? Ini cerita tentang World War kah? Iya, Spanish. Into the darkness. Hello, darkness is my friend. I read an article once that you Chileans don't like Baroque literature. Nothing about it being too noisy. You are quite a bunch. Is that so? And you Argentinians just love it, right? If you are any metrics to go by, I say you are all loud and obnoxious. You! Just because Adelis isn't here, you think you can turn this salon into a debate hell? You started. Enough. Quit squabbling and post your work so we can read it. If you ask me, you are simply more interested in rhyme, rhythm than form. Spanish is rich language. One that is inherently expressive, ever-changing and artistic, much like a Baroque literature. The typically quiet man worth those the argument. The typical quiet man worth those the argument like cold splash of water, turning the group into a rare moment of calm. Hahaha, I don't fight, I don't miss them. Ever since those mad members left La Sociedad, we have had far fewer breakthroughs in stream of consciousness writing. I, for one, would gladly discuss the aesthetic value of stream of consciousness composition. As this new topic surfaced, the inventiveness began to rise once again. It was a most unusual literary salon. full of emotion, charged statement, and biased opinion. But I didn't mind it. In fact, my feeling was quite opposite. It might give me an incredible feeling. Not one of them saw themselves as prisoners stripped of their freedom. A group of literature enthusiasts coming together in Aberdeen prison and collaborating to build an ideal nation. It felt as though it was the result of some kind of pact, but in reality, it was clearly a government-run prison. Everyone, quiet down. I have something to announce. An unfamiliar voice cut off the clacking typewriter in Dora's mind. A woman walks out from the far end of the darkness and steps into the center of the salon, stepping before the whiteboard and podium. Keren sih anjir, apa namanya pas POV-nya Doris dibikin hitam putih kayak gini, keren. Mr. Ida listened trust me with hosting the literature salon. He left a letter under a stone in corner stating that he had a personal matter to attend to. For this session, I will now announce our next research topic. Fiction duality in reflecting reality and self. Heavy gaps, stern heads, and upward breathing through the audience. Clearly, this wasn't the topic they were expecting. She raised the letter in her hand in a gesture for silence. Aku nggak main ini mbak, cuma nontonin aja paling. Aku sih nggak rekomen main ini ya, kecuali kalau kamu waifu banget gitu ya, suka waifu atau husband banget gitu, monggo main. Masalahnya ini ceritanya tuh bagus, cuman kalau misalnya kamu nggak suka apa namanya baca novel sih, ini mending kamu nonton dari orang, betul. Kayak nonton dari aku gitu. Promosi anjir. Masih nggak sadar toh, btw penjara referensinya Alcatraz, aku nggak tahu Alcatraz. Welcome damn bro, gimana kabarmu hari ini? Terima kasih sudah minum, sudah saya sudah start. Welcome. Like-minded fellow aspiring writers. Since the turn of century, the names that once shook the literary world have gradually faded into obscurity. Literature been shown aside in the world of art. People attend theaters, cinemas, and even art galleries to enjoy painting and sculpture, but few can read a book. Betul sih, sekarang kalau misalnya art itu lebih ke apa namanya, lebih ke yang bisa dilihat mata ya, yang bisa dilihat mata atau didengar gitu, kayak musik, painting, sinema, teater, kayak gitu-gitulah. Yang untuk dibaca atau dipahami kayak poet itu sekarang jarang banget. Beneran nggak tahu Alcatraz, hidup kapan kamu Haname? Aku hidup di dalam goa. What is left for us to do when families are torn apart and our nation are ravaged by tyranny? Let story be our weapon. They should be the sword that cuts through the bloody truth, the beacon that light our way forward. Kalau itu aku tahu. The audience falls into silence. Tapi aku lupa itu ngapain ya? Manusia itu ngapain ya? Ingatan buruk anjir. You could try, right? You could try while you think a Latin war and peace. And we could continue with our original salon topic. The two aren't mutually exclusive. I spent the whole month preparing for the topic the idealist previously proposed. You insist on changing the subject, and I'm afraid I'll have to take my leave. Miss Octavia, forgive me for interrupting. This isn't topic we agree on. Everything you have said, we just can't do that. We haven't even figured out things for ourselves yet. Octavia, it's an interesting topic, it is, but perhaps we can talk about it another time. Besides, don't forget, the reason you are in here in the first place for preaching that novel is a weapon. Yeah, if it weren't for our rich daddy, you'd be on the gallows, not standing here preaching to us.
Hey!
Another prisoner stand. Voice clear. You have completely missed the point. A great orator should be an oppressive grave digger, digging up the rotting flesh of social realism from the grave of our time. Only this first crucible is worthy of the heart of our literature. At the time, Miss Gracia looked visibly resistant, as Mr. Julia issued, turning in mind that Mr. Roberta attempted to mediate. More and more members joined the debate, and voiced both for and against Miss Octavia proposal emerged. It didn't take long for La Sociedad to split into two camps. Camps! That was when I realized I needed to do something to get this derailed literary salon back on track. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Doris from Sao Paulo. I'm a writer and I mostly write under the name of Earth. Earth? That name sounds familiar. Have you written to Utu? Are you the Earth in Utu? Wow, I never imagined we will come with such an honored guest today. I truly enjoy your piece title The Tin Soldier of Sao Paulo. It's an important part of my visit to hear all the idea and opinion. If you will indulge my intrusion, then tell me, Miss Earth, what are your thoughts on today's salon topic? A difficult decision, one involving preference, a creative stance, and a political alignment. A scale that is never easily balanced. However, the answer has never been the most important part of such question. Alasan ditangkapnya mah biasa, Mama Rika. Dia bahaya. Dia apa? Penjara dia. Gitu kah? In these restless times, literature has been overlooked, forgotten, pushed to the edge of the world. Much like Ushuaia. Some fall into deep thought, others not in agreement, and a few look puzzled. The audience is largely unaware that the topic has already shifted. To most, this prison at the end of the world is this distant, cold place. Perhaps even a place of hopelessness. Aku ini apa namanya? Dilema anjir. Distant itu bisa dibaca dua anjir. Distant sama distance. Tergantung dari apa namanya? Tergantung dari aksen. Nah itu tahu. Salah admin bully. When the prisoner is first sent here, I cannot help but imagine that the first thing they feel is a stagnant pool of water and a calm, quiet despair. This is this chance to quiet the literary salon back from the muddy trance of ideology. He recalled the days of typing while looking out over the river, boats and palm trees. Words are honest. They have no capacity to lie. I came here to gather material for my next book. I plan to record everything I experience in this place faithfully. And what kind of work are you planning to write? A non-fiction piece, I presume? About Komala prison? Ism is fate. Fate! Earth ini manusia yang sangat misterius sekali ya. Tempat kalian panas nggak sih?
La investigadora se despierta en su cueva en la duna, que le parecía tan vacía como una tumba. Era poco antes del amanecer. Montones de cintas habían
mari kita
ocupado
tidur.
su espacio vital, apilándose una y otra vez. Cada uno de estos carretes giratorios hablaba de historias sobre esa cabaña con techo azul. Oyó la voz del asesinado conductor de burros detrás de ella. Oigo a todos ellos, las risas y las voces de generaciones pasadas, como hojas secas atrapadas en las grietas de viejas paredes, crujiendo solo cuando el viento sopla otra vez. No pondría un pie en esa casa si fuera tú. El mendigo al lado de la puerta también habló. Duermo en el porche cada noche. Cada mañana una luz tenue brilla a través de la ventana, pero nadie sale nunca por esa puerta y nadie ha entrado nunca. Luego la voz del empleado del banco. Es la historia del alter ego. Esa casa debe haber estado llena de deudas que nadie reclamaría. La anciana enferma, luchando en su cama, susurró. La casa recuerda esos días, cuando la gente desaparecía en la oscuridad de la noche y los niños eran robados por las tormentas.
Ini ceritain tentang apa sih,
La
anjir?
investigadora de paracausalidad había oído suficiente y volvió a dormirse.
Terlalu poetik, tolong.
Solo
Otak aku
quedaba
nggak
el
nyampe,
traqueteo
cuy.
del dado de Babilonia resonando en su cueva vacía.
In the Terrating Activity Hall, thousands of floating slips of paper form a blurred, colossal face. It is hard to imagine how the prisoner managed to transform this place into what it is now.
I've always wanted to use the element of fantasy to better establish our theme. And I was right. Now the stage is captivating, the timing is perfect, and the audience is ideally placed. Only one imperfect element remains in the scene. The creator, who hasn't stepped away from his creation. No. There's another thing.
Garcia, the curator of exhibition, stands beneath his work, deep in thought, agonizing over every minute imperfection. His fellow poets whisper to one another.
Can you even tell any difference between today's setup and yesterday's?
Seriously, Roberta? That's a rude question.
Well, what's the difference then?
Well, I can't see one either, but you should never judge art by how much it changes in a day. It's a creative process. We might be standing at the edge of the world, but art has no boundaries. We have to show him our support.
Easy for you to say. He's been tinkering and tweaking for over 3 months. Even if the idealist himself entrusted him with this exhibition, he can still be wrong sometimes. This gallery is turning into a dump.
Estoy viendo fantasmas, todos con las mismas caras, Garcia. Demasiados.
Mana labnya ini kah? Aku nggak ingat sama suaranya Alap masalahnya. Having to navigate through the labyrinth, the idealist, a leader of La Sociedad, arrived at the exhibition entrance accompanied by several new faces.
Idealist? You're back?
Oh, nggak idealist.
Are these new recruits for La Sociedad? You must have had a very successful day.
It is good to see you, Garcia. How has your vision progressed today?
Suaranya kayak pengguna. Kamu tahu dari mana suara pengguna itu?
And now an art gallery. Is this really a prison?
Her shock is evident on her face, but her words are ignored as Garcia began to faint in
I've
frustration.
strived to push the element of fantasy in my work so that it might reach perfection.
Dari acara TV dulu yang tukang
Why
bakso
doesn't it
borak.
look like I imagine? It's like I'm trying to work on a shadow.
Penjual borak.
Some shapeless
Ya,
thing that
awalnya sih
morphs
saya
and shifts by the
coba-coba,
hour.
lalu ketagihan terus,
And
gitu kan?
yes, am I losing it again? I took my medicine as instructed.
Suaranya apa ya?
It was
Kan
never the
ditinggiin
pills
banget.
that blinded
Ya,
you, my dear Garcia.
ya awalnya sih saya coba-coba, terus lama-lama saya ketagihan. Nggak tahu ah. Nah itu dia. Nah itu dia.
Your exhibition must have a timeless rhythm that's never lost to the changing of minds.
Jadi Alep bukan arkanis, really. Garcia hold out his hand as if grasping something fleeting but fails to hold into it.
Sorry, maybe I'm just not getting it.
Look up. There's your answer. Though the sun rises the same way every day, the multitudes of shadows it casts are ever changing. Isn't that the only constant in life? Change. We foolishly pursue stability and constancy, but our very world denies it. Take a step back. Take several, and see the truth for yourself, lest you too become lost among the shifting shadows.
I get it now. It's the changing light that makes the exhibit seem different from what I expected. I shouldn't waste my time on freezing things in one perfect moment. Instead, I need to embrace change as it comes. I don't know how to thank you. I won't let you down. I must complete this exhibition. Complete my alter ego.
Alter ego? Huh? The choice of words widens the writer's eyes.
Did you say alter ego? And he called you Garcia. Is that your name? Garcia, where did you learn about this alter ego? Do you happen to write under the name...
But the curator has already returned to his work, uninterested or oblivious to his visitor.
Please, Recoleta, give our artist some space.
Tahu kan cuma ada 2 res di
He's already
reverse?
returned to his own time and space.
Hah? Gak
He
tahu.
can't hear a thing you say.
2 res?
He's right. Garcia is deep in his own head now. He won't hear a thing until he's done with whatever he has to do. Even if the floor were to collapse out under us, I think he will be left standing in the air without even noticing.
Pardon me then.
Oh, maksudmu human dan arkanis. Otakku nggak jalan, Njir. Please take a step back out of respect.
All right, my dear guests, please forgive my late introduction. Welcome to the Gallery of Bewilderment.
Thank you for inviting me here, Mr. Idealist.
The Foundation investigators have been carefully observing each person's movement since their arrival. But unfortunately, there's no sign of Miss
imagine you're
Torres.
curious about what we do here in the heart of La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas.
Oh iya ya, arkanis
We're
kan
putting
bisa
together
jadi
a
nggak
magazine,
manusia ya.
A collection of poems
Tapi
from
Alep bukan bukan
very own
arkanis. Terus
Casa
kenapa
de las
dia begitu?
Casa de las Americas?
The idol is not with a smile.
Exactly. Named after its great predecessor. You're a fine mind indeed. At this very moment, all our compañeros are working on it. Garcia's exhibition, Alter Ego, is centered around the birth of this magazine. And here, you can see the signatures from all the poets involved, along with a few words they've written for it. Reading it is like looking into the soul of our society.
Ya seorang gila. Ganteng-ganteng gila. So let us step forward to examine the perplexing artwork in the dim lightning. The enormous face appears to be looming watchfully over the entire room. A floating slip of paper catches her attention.
Timekeeper, here! It's Dr. Doris' pseudonym, Erd.
Then she was here.
Senator picks the slip of paper.
Precisely. She used to be one of us, and still is, if I may correct myself.
Gak saya kadang-kadang sakit jiwa.
Maybe some of our members know where she went. Don't we all miss the familiar faces of old friends? I'm sure they'll do everything they can to help you find yours.
As he's finished speaking, several enthusiastic prisoners come forward to greet the idealist.
Mr. Idealist, I finished my short story. It's called Weightlessness. It drifts around the subject like a sheep floating in space. The readers can start anywhere in the story, or read it in any order they like.
And please take a look at my piece off limits. Every word that has been forbidden is either erased or replaced with symbols. It's a one-of-a-kind, jarring experience.
And I finished a new paragraph. Just wrote it
Suaranya di sini cakep-cakep Njir, sumpah. A prisoner robed in several matters of manuscript paper, like a strange sort of mummy.
Oh, new faces. Welcome.
Squeezed into the crowd. Ini Alep kah? Without any warning, he calmly tears the manuscript to shreds. The fluttering fragment fall like a trailing spark from fireworks show. The abrupt welcome ceremony leaves the newcomer stunned, while the natives share knowing smiles.
Idealist, did he just...
The fuck?
This is the writer for the prologue of our magazine.
Emang Alef satu orang? Gak tahu. The leader of La Sociedad, either misunderstanding or evading the question, respond with enthusiasm.
The prologue consists of a 2,000-line poem and an introduction that
Aku
is written
taunya Alep
in 86 languages to avoid misinterpretation. It represents every second we spend here. Naturally, the arrival of new members disrupts its structure, and so we must begin again from scratch.
So he just tore it all up like that because he thought we were joining? With all due respect, isn't this a little excessive? Heaven knows I'm not one to judge. I've torn up plenty of writing for my novel.
Please, pay it no mind. It may not be an easy task, but he's doing his part. Destruction is hard, but more necessary than you think. Without it, we'd all be stuck in a still and stagnant pond, with all the smells that entail.
This all sounds very complicated. When will your magazine be finished then? Forgive me, but I'm not sure what a floating sheet, a jarring reading experience, and all this constant rewriting are meant to express.
The jailer, having remained silent, take a deep breath and interrupts.
As I've said,
Sadar, Be, sadar.
isn't like
Aku,
any
kenapa?
other prison.
Miss Jailer, do you mean...
This place also serves as a research center. And the prisoners here, for all they claim, are not just poets. They are arcanist criminals, and each one of them has been diagnosed as mentally ill.
The leader of La Sociedad remains composed like an island in rough sea, leaving the onlookers to question whether he is entirely mad or sense of them all.
You're quite right, Jailer. But let's
The
not forget
sadness.
that mental illness
The
is
sadness.
merely a deviation from the norm.
Paling
And who
paling
decides
waras
the
atau
norm?
enggak?
You, the physician, or the ones
Emang di sini
outside
ada
these
yang
walls?
waras?
We've been exiled here by the standards of our time, deprived of our roles in the outside world. So please, as we agreed before, I ask you not to interfere with the affairs of La Sociedad.
These people are visitors, not your new recruits.
But should we not hear their thoughts first?
The idealist turns towards the visitor with urgent plea.
My friends, no one escapes the eye of power. We must resist. Stand with us. Pick up your pen and take poetry as your shield before it is too late.
Idealist, I admire your fight, but I came here with a different goal.
Dia kecewa. The little flash is at God in the 4-4. Ignore words and carries on.
We're the last true owners of an old legend. Words now only remembered as myth. We must stay on the path of literature until I find that transcendental solution. To invent an idiom that is generic, all-encompassing, yet precise. My poem will be written in this language, leaving no room for doubt or
BTW 9 jam
misinterpretation.
total story. 9 jam.
How blessed is a man with infallible memory. He holds the finer details of each object within him, more vivid than anyone else. In the end, he'll have all the answers, if time allows him.
A dreamlike expression crosses his face. It briefly seems as if he has become an entirely different person, but his poet vision is soon interrupted.
Tongue, sister, howls, hermaphrodite, tango.
Apa sih?
They put the whole city in the nut house.
Timekeeper, look over there.
Isn't that the prologue writer?
There's something off about him. Please, Timekeeper, stay away from him.
What's happening?
Idealist, Pablo's having another episode.
Multiples of us. You make reality sick.
A flash of arcane energy flare up, and the jailer stepped into the crowd.
I could use your help, ladies.
Oh, I got it now.
Personal drink gratis. 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 What do you mean gratis, coy? Orang gila.
Into the darkness.
En todos los momentos, más allá.
Wait for the right moment. Non voltarti indietro.
Nuestro aliado es la verdad.
You see it coming.
You see
That one,
it
even as tough as waking up an old...
The frenzied prisoner is subdued. He lies convulsing in the center of exhibit hall.
Poor soul. I'll bring him to bed. Well done, ladies. Aren't you full of surprises?
What was all that?
It seems he had a mental breakdown and lost control of his arcane skill. It appears that every line he recited carried unbridled power.
Usually, only specific lines can channel arcane energy. You can't just force the power into words or craft a poem to serve your purpose. Pablo must have a rare gift for identifying empowered lines. When he recited them all aloud, they overwhelmed him.
That's right. He's a genius who writes the ties of emotion, just like Arthur Rimbaud. We always keep a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't recite anything while reading or writing.
Jambret. Okay, Roberta throws a glance between the tense jailer and her visitor.
But sometimes things slip
Iya,
through.
gratis kayak ayam Sinclair aja.
You must
Oh,
understand how difficult it is for a poet
I see.
to never taste the words on his own lips.
I see.
So then, this isn't the first time, and you're all fully aware of it. Do I understand you right? Did you just admit that you've been hiding an inmate with a dangerous condition from us? According to the safety regulations for the Panopticon of Kamala, he must be sent to the physician for immediate treatment.
The jailer comment caused a dramatic shift in the room.
No, wait. We can explain. He's doing fine. We know how to help him. This was just an accident. We got distracted by the new members.
We won't be handing him over to the physician. No true writer would allow their mind, the most sacred palace of their thoughts, to be opened up to that cold-hearted, ignorant butcher. Even one who believes their inspiration flows from a source beyond the mere substance of a brain would refuse it.
The jailer furrows her brow and pulls out her weapon, the artifact turned into an invisible threat. Wah, ini sih yang bikin panjang tadi itu. I want the combination of blind society. Even though they refuse to discuss the outside world, spending even a few days inside the prison makes clear that the reason they are here is precisely what they avoid speaking about. Ushuaia is a cold town of the tip of origin in the southernmost territory. The polar night, the frozen sea, the proximity of to Antarctica, the endless winter, it all makes sense. It all makes the place seem buried by time and forgotten. It possesses all the necessary qualities of a prison, making it an ideal place to send organized suspect diagnosed with mental illness. A place to be forgotten, ya kan? Send organized suspect diagnosed with mental illness. Orang-orang gila semua di sini beneran. Setting aside the true definition of madness and their status of prisoner, what I see in this prison are former poets, writers, and social activists. In their era, some spoke of the poetry, then disappeared from society for owning a book by Jean-Paul Sartre. Some incite grassroots rebellion against hierarchy structure, only to be exiled. They were repeatedly questioned, why do you read this book? Why do you write this poem? They were branded thought organizer and eventually sent here to partake in experiment conducted under the name of Foucault and post psychoanalysis. It is nearly impossible to determine whether their madness was defined by society because they resist order, or if it was induced through random electroshock and torture, or perhaps all of these reasons are one and the same. This reason is often avoided, sanitized, or ignored, because deep down, we all know how deeply it is woven into the fabric of all our life. At first, they said nothing, but this very act, deliberate avoidance, was what truly conveyed their grief and fear. Wait, yes, it looms over us, yet each of us may hold the power to steer its course. It's like this nation of transition. Its face should also be in the case. Shall we officially begin the salon? What the? What apa? Apalah. The ever-obsessed Roberta, noticing the tears welling in Octavia's eyes, cut her off. Would anyone like to share a story on this topic? Whether it's personal experience or a writing style, let's bring some life to this salon. Well, if no one has anything to say, I could always retell the story of my fateful journey across Mexican border. Mexican border? Gak, bukan apa-apa. Ngetes sedih heboh aja. Ngetes apa, anjir? A chair screeched as one man stands, all eyes fall on his face, shadowed by his heavy bow and sharp cheekbones. Unexpected twist, no one noticed him quietly sitting at the edge of the crowd until now. I spent the first half of my life as bank clerk. One day, sitting behind that glass window, staring at endless stack of check, paper, and flyer. It hit me. I was serving a life sentence. So I quit, went home, and decided to write something. My wife threw a fit at first, but when I wouldn't budge, a cold war broke out between us. And then, finally, she issued an unliteral eviction notice. I got drunk, punched a bastard officer who was beating a beggar in the street, and everything after that is a blur. When I come to, I was already here, a place that feels more like home than any other place ever did. The idolist gave me some water and suggests I read to Alep. So I did. I wrote a letter and asked a question. 2 weeks later, I got a reply, just one line. I'm still trying to figure out what it means. In the short span of life, there exists an infinitely extended staircase, and at its end lies nothing but a silent body of water. Julio, I had no idea you had such a story. Why haven't you mentioned it before? I didn't know you have written to Alep too. Octavia, maybe you did choose the right topic. Young passionate writer like you should carry the dream of changing the society. Don't end up like me, waiting until this age to finally pick up the pen. Oh? Oh? The host is fully engrossed in the story, has almost forgotten all about the topic. Great, I suppose it's my turn, then? Here's my tale, crossing the Mexican border. Ya, kepotong lagi. Ya, kepotong lagi. Kasian banget anjir. For heaven's sake, spare us! I have heard at least 7 or 8 versions of that story already. Not to mention the 5 short stories in your collection. 5 stories, Roberta. 5! And the only difference between them is the narrative perspective. Repetitive narrative is indeed an important topic in literary criticism. The remainder of the salon is spent in noisy theater, as the storytelling quickly spirals out of control. Only Dr. Doris quietly repeats the name to herself, Alec? Mr. Julia Paz was an unexpected gold nugget, perfect material for a biography, all treated with care in my Nexus mission. By then, I had nearly forgotten I was still in prison. I had been swept in the literary salon. I resolved to record all that I witnessed in the prison, as to whether the inhabitants are truly prisoners. That will be for the reader to decide. And at the time, I did not ask how they found their way into this prison. Like them, I was thinking of purer things. Looking back on this journey, I now see what a tangled strand of glass bubbles that Diablo had formed, an interconnected web. Just as the salon got into full swing, a face emerged from the shadow, only to smile clearly visible. Rarely do I observe the salon from afar, taking in all symbolic quirks and subtle metaphor. The bridge between reality and unreality, the poetry of the typical and the atypical. This is exactly how I intentionally associated the poetas the Las Americas when I found it. Namanya pengurang panjang. Then you arrival catch her attention. Reality and unreality. Are you referring to the difference between non-fiction and fiction? I'm afraid I haven't quite grasped your full meaning. But you understood at least part of it, didn't you? That alone proves we are walking the same path. The unwavering pursuit of aesthetic truth. We are a citizen of the literary kingdom. Stargazers chasing the first light to reach the shore of the new world. Children crying beneath the tree of pure ideals. As it found their eyes sincerely invite you to join La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas and become one of us. Join La Sociedad de Poetas de las Americas? A gentlemanly bow, an invitation that is hard to refuse. Everything here carries an air of mystery, the literally gathering. The strange architecture, the enigmatic recipient of all this letter, a rare opportunity. I'm truly flattered by your invitation. I would like to join the Poetry Society. But might I trouble you with one question, Mr. Idealist? You call yourself the founder, so I assume you are the idealist, yes? Ask away. Could you tell me about Alep? Dung 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 dung. Dung 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 dung. Who are you, Alep?
This is a serious violation of the rules. I'll have to report this to the physician, and all of your treatments will need to be reassessed. Until a new treatment plan is in place, all members of La Sociedad are confined to their cells without any of their usual privileges.
The jailer heavily emphasized La Sociedad, triggering commotion among the prisoners.
This is not what we agreed to.
You gave us your word! Affairs within La Sociedad were not to be disturbed!
Please, don't do this. Please, he doesn't deserve this. No one does. We don't want to lose our friend.
The confusing prisoner struggled with
Please, Senora. I swear it won't happen again. I'll take the medicine on time as instructed.
Saking banyaknya item yang diperlukan floor 10 belum jadi lunatic game. Really?
I'm sorry, Mr. Pablo.
Tadi kan ada apa namanya achievement yang nggak apa yang disuruh nggak pakai lunatic.
Before you take this poor man from his friends, may I ask you something? Do you know where these inmates go after they see the physician?
My duty is to keep order here. What happens beyond
Belum
these
jadi
walls
lunatic atau
is
lunar
not my
memory?
concern.
Lunatic apa, Njir?
Perhaps they've recovered from the physician's treatment and were returned to society.
The jailer expression relaxed.
Within
Oh
these
iya,
walls,
lunar memory ya.
the
Aku
only
sampai
truth
bingung
we
loh.
know
Kamu
is this.
ngomong lunatic, anjir.
No one
Kamu
returns
ngelihat
from
ini
the
kah?
clinic at the
Makanya
position
ngomong
of
lunatic. Lunatic kan orang apa namanya?
Are
Artinya
you
orang gila
certain
juga,
this
cuy.
treatment they received is really a cure?
Kocak.
Pablo is harmless. He's just a writer who has a talent for finding words and poems. That's all. Please, let him stay. We'll look after him. He can have our share of the medicine. We'll keep him in check.
Kayaknya capek ngulang saya. Ya udahlah, terabas saja.
This doesn't conform to our regulations.
Still as arrogant as ever, idealist.
Oh, itu suaranya.
One day, you'll get us all killed.
A stranger entered the exhibit hall. As he arrived, the jailer exhaled with relief.
Oh, it's you. I'm glad to see you here.
Who is that?
That's Octavia, one of our model inmates. She's been a great help in the past.
Oh, model
If you're
inmates.
interested in prison literature, I'd suggest talking to her instead of the idealist.
So, she's a writer too?
Idealist itu orang udah gila.
Who would have thought? This place has got writers coming out of the woodwork. I thought it would be easy to find my writer friend in a prison.
But what are the odds that I'd break into a place absolutely lousy with them?
She used to be in their gatherings, until she got tired of their nonsense and started her own faction.
Faksionnya kebelah jadi dua, okay. The new arrival brings out a chance of idealists. He twists his tongue imperceptibly.
What are you doing here, Octavia?
Imperceptibly.
The era of chieftains, ghosts, and plantation stories is over. Visceral realism is the future.
And has this brilliant visceral realism helped you finish any of these poems? What a waste of time. I'm not interested in your movement or arguing with you. I just walked by and happened to witness another episode of your brutal arrogance. And I'm not about to just stand aside and watch you repeat your mistakes. I'm taking Pablo to the physician. Care to lend a hand, Miss Jailer?
We agreed to mind our own business. Are you breaking our agreement? No one will be allowed to erase a word from our poems.
Ya tengkar, hari-hari tengkar.
Straight to the point. I like that.
Straight to the point. I like it.
Haven't you let your ego cause enough trouble, idealist?
Better that than siding with the devil like you.
Enough. This pointless arguing ends now.
Wait for the right moment. Into the darkness.
What I'm good at. What I'm good at.
Portarti indietro. Addio, straniero.
Halo Rice Guardian, gimana kabar hari ini? Sudah makan, sudah minum, sudah sehat, sudah harus welcome.
Stand down, both of you.
Lagunya anjir. Iya hampir ke X anjir. Their heated debate continue without any concern for the jailer warning.
You've never listened. I pity your followers. To be led by such a reckless megalomaniac. Do you even think about the consequences of your actions? We fought hard to earn the freedom to discuss literature under their watch. Your impulsive ego threatens to destroy everything we've built here.
Oh, megalomaniac itu obsessed with his own power, right?
We don't need permission to do as we please. You're just another puppet of power, kneeling to the eyes behind those glass walls. They've trained you to believe it was your own decision, to be good and conform. Who could have done a better job? When I look at you, all I see is a sheep, docile and obedient, just the way the tower wants. What kind of work could someone like you create? Literature isn't defended by those lounging in cozy rooms, scribbling to soothing music.
Kayak aslinya 3 orang, Njir.
Have you looked in a mirror,
3
idealist?
orang.
You've become a pathetic windmill-tilting fool, a monster tearing down everything around you.
A beast of prey, you mean? Naturally, a sheep would be appalled by the mere thought of such a creature. A fearful sheep caught in a vine, confusing the blade that would set it free with the jaws of a tiger.
Alep aslinya 3 orang. Terus Alep yang ini sama Alep yang itu beda kah?
But I beg you, learn to distinguish
Bener?
right from wrong, fantasy from reality. Only then can you truly lead our people toward what's right.
Distinguish right from wrong. Don't make me laugh. Is that the limit of your vision?
You...
Impassionate leader jumps into the nearby bed, striking a dramatic pose before the crowd. He raised his arm and launched into
Open your
speech.
mouths. Friends, listen to me. There is no truer home to literature than a prison.
A blast of deafening sound and a words fall from the air. Tembak kah? Ais, kaget aku.
No. No!
The horrified Arcane stumbled back, screaming.
Who did this? Hands behind your head and drop to your knees. All of you, now! This is your last warning.
A prisoner showed no reaction to the jailer's final ultimatum. They stared at the idealist, unmoving. Tinggal.
You're bleeding. It's in your chest.
Meninggal tuh. As his left runs away, idealist appears unsurprised. He simply turned his gaze toward the Colata.
Yes. Idealist?
Unfinished word dissolved into silence as the prisoner himself began to tremble. The entire exhibition hall twists and contoured, turning working beyond comprehension as if dissolving and expanding.
What's going on?
Freely. Why? What happened? What? The hall is still. Time seemed frozen in place until someone utters the first word.
Was he shot? Where did the bleed come from? Miss Jailer and you ladies over there, come give me a hand. We need to get into the physician.
Her words ignite the first spark.
Did you do this, Octavia? You couldn't face the burning truth of his words, so you pierced his very heart instead. Justice was blazing with the fire of justice.
Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!
Did you intend to crush the voice of poetry beneath your wheel of power?
Hooray apa, Njir?
It has to be one of you devils in disguise, beasts in human skin.
Can't you see? I had nothing to do with this. I'm as innocent as any of you. I've been trying to keep order here, to protect everyone.
Terima
And now
kasih
you
atas
blame me?
apa namanya kerjasamanya Ras Guardian.
Listen to her. The idealist made it very clear. She's trying to get us punished for her own gain. You're a murderer, Octavia.
The prisoner fury arose. In the chaos, another blows an arcane skill that pierced the air.
This is mad. You're accusing me without proof. It wasn't me.
This is getting out of hand. I suggest you ladies leave now.
No, wait. It all happened too fast. What happened to the idealist? Is he all right? I didn't even get a chance to ask about Aleph.
As the tide was surged around them, the line between life and death blurs beyond recognition.
I agree with the jailer. Timekeeper, Miss Recoleta, let's get out of here.
Apa tadi? The illusion of time dissolved is flow unknown. Under the garden influence, the frenzied prisoner began to resemble an undirtable chaotic epic. At this moment, unidentified figures enter their midst, so no one takes notice. You newcomers scrutinized the motionless corpse.
His vitals are gone. At last, some peace and quiet. Well, for a liar and a thief like him, there's hardly a better end than this.
Siapa anjir? Manusia dikte. They reached into idol's coat, pocket, and pull out a die. It is until the more where pattern failed in smoke, an object seemingly not meant to exist in this world, a 20-sided die known only through an omniscient perspective. And now it is staying in utterly corrupted blackness.
Just as I thought. You had it all along.
Apa anjir? Cerita apa sih Njir ini, Tolong. Never gonna get you out, never gonna let you go, let you down. Salah. Up to this point, I have participated firsthand in several sessions associated with the Poetas de las Americas. They literally experimented language and advanced game, weaving reality and fiction into invisible webs, ensnaring everyone present in a maze of words. Kata-katanya susah banget ya. Never before had I been so intimate with literature or thought about it so deeply. I was amazed by how words could so vividly express both playfulness and value. Until that ordinary afternoon, when a poet named Eduardo was reciting his new piece with refined rhythm, and Miss Octavia was discussing the state of Sao Paulo with me. No one noticed anything unusual about Mr. Julio's condition. Mr. Julio kenapa anjir, meninggal kah? Just like you wrote in the Soldier of Sao Paulo. The greatness of Latin America lies in its richness. And from that richness comes misfortune. Not by an insatiable greed, one man's property of is another peace, suffering nor joy. One man's property is another feast. Suffering nor joy, they are like riverbank clearly divided. This duality is this paradox. Isn't it precisely the kind of question we should be posing through literature? The thought of bone against a hard surface enthralled her. Julio is banging his head against the wall. Not enough. Not enough. Not like this. You can grasp space and time? I'm still missing some essential language framework and thought patterns. With our current language system, I cannot guess the course of time. I can only flip it away from the tip of my pen. Flip, Njir. Mr. Julio, what's wrong with you? Unlike the panicked Octavia, the other image around Julia seemed unfazed. That wall is unscalable, Julio. I told you already. I can lend you some of my bandits from the last week if you need them. For a permanent silence object, any formalization is futile. Indian, you are just wrestling with your own shadow. Futile, huh? What are you all standing for? Can you see Julia hurting himself? Octavia is clearly flustered. Doris knows she must first eliminate any such interference that might obstruct her ability to help. Miss Octavia, please calm down. Tell me, what do you see? What do I see? It's Mr. Julio. He's hurt. He's bleeding. He tried to break through the mirror of language with his hand, But it was actually a wall. By now, Doris has learned how to filter out the surreal embellishment typical of that member in order to correctly assess the situation. Mirror or wall, it doesn't matter. Please take a closer look and describe what you see clearly and without embellishment. What is Mr. Julia's condition? His muscles are spasming uncontrollably, as if jolted by a cold electric current. His face is stagnant, twisting, like he's struggling against a silent force. His fingers are curling into unnatural shape. What? His expression keeps changing, first pain, then panic, and finally blankness. Oh, udah meninggal sih itu mas. Sounds like he's having an epileptic seizure. Perhaps I could offer some help. Guided by the sound of Julia whimper, Doris approached his head. Well, his head is bloodied. His head is bloodied. Please, Mr. Ophia, help me so I can help him. Could you lay him down flat on his side? We have to stop him from hurting himself. I can use my arcane skill. Arcane skillnya dia apa? Flashing light could worsen an epileptic seizure. Does your arcane skill emit to intense light? If so, I must ask you to refrain from using it. Kok tahu Njir dia? Octavia hurriedly retracted her incantation. She pressed down on Julia's shoulder and lowered him onto the cold, hard floor. The doctor kneels quickly and gently turned the man to the side, preventing him from injuring himself any further. As the time passed, Mr. Julia's convulsion began to subside. His body remained stiff. His jaw clenched tight. I took a disposable bite pad from the first aid kit and carefully pressed it in his mouth to keep him from biting himself. Eventually, the situation came under control, and Mr. Julia's breathing stabilized. And there everyone went straight back to the gathering as if it were only a minor inconvenience. Thank you for her help, Mrs. Ord. The doctor responded with a silent smile. You seem experienced. Was it a major part of your responsibility in Paulo? Yes, saving others is my profession. Writing is my hobby. In my home, I am first and foremost a doctor. Miss Earth, you have my utmost admiration as a doctor, as a writer, and informal as person beyond any social categorization. Apa-apa recall pertama Haname di tahun 2000. I see black and white image. Iya, black and white. Nge-switch mulu anjir black and white-nya. You, a doctor who actually live in Palace, pointed the barrel at yourself before wielding your words as a weapon. Compared to you, I have achieved nothing of substance. All I do is wave ideas around as if that's enough. Miss Octavia, I simply a writer who follow her curiosity. I'm afraid I'm not qualified to provide you with any concrete advice, nor am I as great as you say. You are well prepared for your vision and ambition, for modesty is such an essential part of writing, and you have just demonstrated skillful use of introspection. Thank you for your kind words. But I'd like to return to my room and think for a while. See you tomorrow. Idealist pursue his ideal to erect a magnificent vision, stop at the power of literature. For those outside tower, what good is that magnificent? Here I am, locked away in prison. My words getting no further than this wall. I even only have my life because my wretched brother. It was foolish to think that ideas alone could ease people's pain. Maybe we are no different from the heretics who were burned at the stake in the Middle Ages. Perhaps only professional like Miss Earth, doctor with real expertise, can truly save a person. Wait, but this prison does have a doctor. A doctor meant to handle every kind of issue, whose specialty is precisely in the mental field. This is not just doctor, he's the overseer of the prison. I once asked the idealist why the person in charge here wasn't regular sheriff or police chief, but a physician. As expected, he brushed me off with some grandiose idealistic rhetoric. But why has the idealist always seems to also opposed to the physician? Why can patients like Mr. Julia, who are clearly suffering, be sent to him? Puzzle onto puzzle, question after question, I had. Her sight echoes through the circular building, and it is soon answered by a chorus of winter sighs. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Miss Octavia turned and walked away. Though she looked disheartened, it was still the power of unwavering force that drove her forward. What would that force be for me? Lah pencet. Looking back, I began to reflect on myself. Contemplate fate, that grand and irreversible force. Irreversible. Oke, sudah mau 5:30 guys. Dah, otsu dulu guys. Aku nggak bisa lama-lama hari ini. Welcome, thank you semuanya yang sudah nonton anime hari ini. See you in the next time. Bye bye guys. Kita udah chapternya masih lama banget ini kayaknya. Oke. Kita lanjut lagi minggu depan maybe reverse.
My wine.
Oke, bye bye guys. Otsu.